Hi, and welcome to this course on Unix Getting Started. In this module, we'll be discussing about Unix filters and how to process different files using different type of filters available in Unix. So let's get started. Filters are those utilities in Unix which takes data from a file or pipe, modify the input, and display the result to the output. By default, filters do not modify the original file, but there are options to do this in different commands. In this module, we'll see different filters available in Unix. Let's try out some basic filters first. Cat. The cat is used to concatenate files and feed it to the standard output. Let's try out some cat commands. To write a file, cat greater than F1. Type something here. Press Ctrl+C to exit. All the contents are written to the file called F1. To check the contents, type vi F1. Even you can see the contents of a file using cat F1. It displays the contents to the standard out. You can also use customized file terminator. For example, we'll use end as a terminator below. Cat greater than F1, that is we're appending to this existing file, and type something here, type end. It will end your input and save the contents to the file called F1. To save the contents, at F1. You can see the new contents are ordered in this file called F1. The next one is stack. It concatenates files and feeds file on standard output in the reverse order. Head. It prints the first part of the file. Basically, you can use it for displaying first few lines from a large file. Head system.log. Only first 10 lines are printed from the system.log. To print first few lines, let's say we want to print first 20 lines, use the -n option for that. Head -n 3 system.log. You can see only the first 3 lines are printed. Turn. Similar to head, but it prints the last part of the file. Tell system.log. Last 10 lines of this file are printed to the standard out. If you want to print last few lines, then -l option to the tell command. Tell -n 3 system.log. It will print only last 3 lines. You can also use piped input for the above commands like cat system.log, then plus a pipe, tell -n3. It does the same thing. Cut. It removes sections from each line of a file. This takes input from a file or a pipe. It uses a field separator with -t option and gives the corresponding field using -f option. Let's try it out. Let's open the etc passwd file. In this file, you can see the different fields for the different fields created for users are colon separated. Let's say we want to read different columns in this etc passwd file. Cut minus t, the field separator is colon minus f. Let's say we want to read the first field, etc passwd. We can see only first field is displayed in the standard out. The above command cuts the file etc passwd with a field separator colon and displays the first field or column, which is all the Unix users. We can also select multiple fields for display. Cut minus t, let's say we want to display the third field also. Here you can see the user ID of the corresponding user is also displayed. We can extract the contents of a file using character-wise cut also. Let's we have a file called f1 whose contents is 1 dot abc 2 dot def 3 dot pqr. Cut this file. To apply cut to a file for using character-wise separator, use cut minus c. Let's say we want to display 4 to 7 characters in this file, f1. So in this case, if no delimiter is used, then it will be treated as a character-wise cut. tr, that the translate command. It translates or deletes a character or multiple characters in a file. The input to translate command would be a file. tr avc. Let's say we want to translate all the small character to capital character. So it expects the user to give some command line input as a standard input. We can also read from files, but first we'll see how we can read from stdin. Let's say I type something pqr avc, then here you can see the character C is translated to capital and the PQR is not translated to capital because those are not given in the command. So only ABC will be translated to capital ABC. If we type ABC DEF, and here you see only capital AV, only small ABC is translated to capital ABC. To quit this, press Ctrl C. To take input from a specific file, you can use the option travc to avc, standard input redirector operator, and the file name. Let's say we have created a file called f1 which is some contents. We want to translate all the small avc to capital avc. Here you can see the small avc is translated to capital avc, others are left as it is. We can also delete specific characters using -t option to translate. Let's say I want to echo something called my t name is Rocky. And the t name has a spelling mistake t, so I am to delete that t. To do that, -d t was got t. So see the output. My name is Rocky. So the character t is deleted. If you write another t, that also would be deleted. All the t in the string would be deleted. The next command in this category is wc. It prints word, byte, and character count in a file. wc f1. It displays the number of lines, characters, words. Here 3 is the number of lines in the file, 6 is the number of words in the file, 21 is the number of characters in that file called f1. We can also selectively display these characters, numbers, number of lines, and number of words in a file. So there are different options in wc. Let's say we want to display only the number of lines. The option would be -l f1. So you can see only 3 lines are there in this file. To display only the number of words, use the option W. To display only the number of characters, the option would be M. So this command can be used whenever you are printing a file or doing some stuff with the file. You want to display the number of lines or words or characters, then you can use this command and get the extract of a file. Here comes one of the basic filter called sort. It sorts the line of a file. There are different criteria on the basis the sorting happens. We'll see all of them. Let's move on to our terminal. Let's say our file is like this: 3pqr22-1 abc. Let's sort in this file. The command would be sort and file name. We see our file is sorted on the basis of characters. So if you do not give any option to this sort command, then by default it will do a character wise search. Suppose we want to sort a file numerically. Let's say in our content we see 22 is sorted before 3. So we do not want that. We want 3 before 22. Then in that case we can use the command sort with the option -n, then file name. Suppose you want to sort in reverse numerical order. Then in that case you can use another option with -l, that is R. So the large numeric will be sorted first, then smaller ones. Also the sort has an option to do a search on the basis of dictionary. So to do that, use the option -d for dictionary search f1. So we see here the dictionary search is applied on the basis of characters, like DDEF is printed first, then DEF, because E comes after D. Let's say we have same thing written twice. So we want to do an unique search on this file. The option will be cat f1. The option will be set -u f1. We see DEF is printed only once, so it does an unique search on this file. One more important option which you can use in sort is, another important thing we can do with the sort is sort on the basis of a particular column. That can be used using a specific delimiter, like in this case the option would be -t. In this case our delimiter is white space, so you can do -k2 on the basis of second field, that is only the strings we have written in the file called f1. So here you see first ABC displayed, then DDEF, DEF. It by default do a character search, but on the basis of second column only. That's all about some basic filters used in Unix. In the next video, we'll see another filter called grep, most widely used in Unix. One of the most important command in the filter category is the grep. It prints lines matching a pattern. Important features of grep command are: it processes line using regular expressions. normal as well as meta characters. It returns entire lines when a keyword is matched, else nothing is printed. By default, its searches are case sensitive. Use -i to enable case insensitivity. It shares regular expression with awk and sed. Let's grep. Let's match a var in a file. Grep root, the file name. So in the etc passwd file, we can see root exists in these lines only. The other lines are not printed. Suppose we want to match with case insensitivity. The option we need to give is -i. Let's change our search string to capital ROT, which doesn't exist in this file. So it also searches the same lines and displays it, and displays in the standard out. We can print the unmatched lines using -v option. Print root grep -v root etc passwd. It will print all the lines which doesn't match root. Sometimes we need to know what is the line number where we get a match. To do that, the option will be -n, then root etc password. So here the line 12, 13 and 62 is the matching lines. Another useful options will be show some lines below matched pattern. The option will be grep -A2, that is the two lines after the match from the pattern. etc passwd. See, the matches is root, then after that it is showing two lines. Similarly, we can also print n lines above the match. The option for that would be -b, grep -b capital B 2 root etc passwd. Two lines above that match is displayed. This grep options will be useful whenever you are parsing some log files or want to check some lines in the log files, verify it. Then you can use this grep option to check n number of lines after or before the matches. That's all about the grep command. In the next clip, we'll see more advanced filters like set and awk. In the previous lectures, we have seen some basic filters. Now we'll see some advanced filters. The first one in this category is set filter. It is a stream editor for filtering and transferring text data. There are three different functions of set: print, substitute, and delete. Features of set: it is used for stream editing, manipulating text at any point. Instructions may be specified on the command line or via file. It supports POSIX regular expressions like used in grep and awk. Let's move on to our terminal to see how set can filter some text file. The first functionality in set is print. Let's try to print some text using set from a file. To print a line from a file, the syntax would be set -n, 1, command would be p, and the file. So it prints the first line from the file called system.log. 1p is for printing first line. Similarly, if you want to print the second line, the command would be set -n 2p system.clock. To print last line of the file, command would be set -n $p system.log. The last line is printed here. Sometimes we want to print a range of lines from a file. To do that, the command would be set -n. So we want to print the lines from 7 to 10 p system.log. It prints 4 lines, that is from 7 to 10. In case you want to print all the lines excluding some specific line. Let's say we want to print all the lines without printing the first one. So the command options would be set -n 1 extension p system.log. So it will exclude the first line and print all else. You can also exclude a range of lines while printing, like set -n 1 to 5 extension or negation p system.log. So it will exclude 1 to 5 lines while printing. Let's print excluding 1 to 10 lines. Next comes the pattern searching and then printing. So let's say we want to print all the lines containing some pattern. Let's print all the lines which matches some pattern. Let's set -n -e for expression. Our pattern is MacBook /p for printing system.log. You can say whatever lines contains MacBook as a text is printed into the terminal. Let's say when to print all the lines which are starting with a pattern. Set -n -e /start. Caret symbol is for start. The string is pattern, then /p single quote ends system.log. We say only 2 lines in this system.log which contains a pattern called pattern.matching. Similarly, we can print pattern which is pattern matching which is occurring at the end of a line. So the command for that would be set -n -e single quote / the pattern is fox $ for end /p single quote ends system.log. 2 lines which ends with fox. To print all the lines containing the number, the syntax would be set -n -a / square bracket 0 to 9 represents the number /p single quote ends system.log. So you can see all those lines which contain some kind of number is printed here. I think each and every line has some number since it is a log file. The last function of the set is delete. So let's say we want to delete some text from this file. There are few blank lines in this file. Let's say we want to remove those blank lines. The command we set -e single quote / the line which starts with nothing and end with nothing. D for deleting system.log. So you can see no blank line exists now. That's all about set. In the next lecture, we'll see some examples using awk. Next filter in this category is awk. It is used for pattern scanning and text processing. It is similar to set. The functionalities are similar to set, but syntax are quite a bit different. What are the features of awk? It is also a field processor. It supports grep style POSIX regular expressions. The default field delimiter is white space. It stores fields or columns into tokens, which then become accessible during processing. It loops over input one line at a time. It will accept input from file or standard in or pipe. Let's see some examples using awk. Let's say we want to print all the lines in a file. The command syntax will be awk bracket print $0. The file system.log. It prints all the lines from that file. Let's say we want to print all the lines in a file. Awk single quote bracket print $0 bracket ends single quote ends index.txt. It prints the entire content of that file index.txt. Let's say we want to print only the first column from each line. Awk print $1. Here, the default delimiter white space is used. Since we are not giving any delimiter here, so the default delimiter white space is used. In the same way, we can print other columns also, like $2, $3. Let's say we want to print all the lines in a file which is some pattern matches. Awk print $0 matching all the lines. Then we need to provide the pattern first. Let's say the match would be the. So it prints all the lines which contains the keyword THE. Let's say we want to print all the lines which has a pattern matching at the end. So first we need to give the pattern idea dot dollar slash print $0. These two lines matches the pattern idea dot at the end of the line. You can also get your input from the standard in instead of files, like awk idea dot idea dollar, then print. We'll use the same syntax, same command, print $0. Press enter. At our input, this is idea. Here the matching pattern occurs, so it will print my name is XYZ. The pattern doesn't match, so it will print hello idea, so it will print. To exit, press Ctrl C. That's all about awk. You can explore more options from awk filter. This brings to the closure of this module called filters. So let's summarize what we have learned in this module. We have learned Some basic filters like cat, tag, head, tail, cut, translate, word count, short, and grep. This is all the filters which are used for reading a file, processing some lines from the file, etc. And then some more advanced filters like set and awk. This is a complete language in itself. A lot of options available in set and awk to completely process text files in Unix. That's all in this module called filter. In the next module, we'll see an introduction to shell scripting.